I'm going to be re-editing one of my photos 7 years later. Here's the original photo taken back in 2013. And here's my 2013 edit. So how different would my edit be now in 2020? Let's find out. So I'm going to begin with some basic raw adjustments. I did not do this back in 2013, but I'm doing it now just to add a little bit more color. It's very minor adjustments, so it's nothing too crazy. And now I'm going to start with the retouching, and I use a technique called frequency separation. I actually used the same technique back in 2013, I believe, but I wasn't as refined as I am now, so there for sure will be a difference in retouching. I'm going to be doing just some skin cleanup, starting here with the forehead and just blending everything together. This is actually one of my favorite things to do when I'm editing pictures. I know it may not seem very fun for non-photographers, but I love, cleaning up the skin and cleaning up the image, making it look all nice and pretty. So that's kind of what I'm doing here. I don't want to overdo it. Sometimes I get carried away, but I kind of made it a point to make it a little bit more natural this time. And then I continue the skin retouching on her body, making sure that her shoulder and her chest area are nice and clean, and it's kind of the same skin retouch as her face. So just wanted to keep it pretty consistent throughout the picture. And then I'm just retouching some of her arm. I don't know why I cut her hand off. That kind of ruined it low-key. And I also retouched some of her hand, which I really hate retouching hands, but anyways, a little bit of edit to her eyes to make them pop out more. And then I'm going to be tackling the flyaway hairs, which is never fun for me. I never like to retouch these. It always takes me forever. And it's just one of my least favorite things to do in terms of retouching. But I had to clean up the flyaway hairs. I did that back in 2013 pretty well. I was pretty cognizant of that. But I think as time went on, I just got pretty lazy. So I used the clone stamp tool, I used the healing brush tool. I literally used every tool imaginable to try to do this, okay guys? It was not fun. So just fixing up that, and then I used the liquify tool to smooth it out and to make it even because there were little bumps on her hair. So just, trying to make it look good as possible, And then we're starting the coloring of this image, which is my favorite part. I already kind of knew what I wanted to do this time around. I wanted to focus a lot on bringing back the skin texture, making it look very natural, but still have some hints of color. So I used a lot of luminosity masks. I brought in some magenta tones. As you can see here, I'm trying to make it, very simple, but have little hints of color here and there. Something a lot different than the 2013 edit, as you can tell. You can see the 2013 edit looks like I just added like 15 Instagram filters. I don't know why I did all that, but we're doing things different. This time in 2020, we're making changes. Not to ourselves, but to our photography. Because that's something I can commit to, Photoshop, yes. Now I'm just masking out her face because I used a curves layer set to luminosity. It was a little bit intense, but I really liked it for her skin, so I masked it out. As you can see, it only affected her skin. And I'm just doing small little selective color layers, adding bits of color here and there. And then I wanted to mask out the background as well and make that a little bit more defined because I feel like it got lost in the 2013 edit. So I'm trying to bring back some detail and some saturation back into the background because background needs some love too. Like, we could be friends. And now we're just adding some radial fills. They're gradients, they're circular, they're so much fun to play with. I actually did this back in 2013. As you can see, it just looks like there's so much light near her face. It's kind of blown out. This time I still wanted to do that, but I wanted to keep it a little bit more controlled and with a very low opacity. I tried to play around with the colors. The layers, I set them to screen or overlay or soft light just to kind of give it like that soft look. And then I really focused on the makeup and popping out the eyes a lot more. I used some Dodge and Burn to bring out her eyes and her makeup, as well as the rest of her face. I did some Dodge and Burn there, just using a white and black default brush, and then the layer was set to soft light. So I just went over it a little bit just to add some more depth to the picture. And I also, you know, added some more to her eyes to make them pop out a little bit more. Last little things, I just added back more to the background with a curves layer. And I think that pretty much wraps it up. This is the final look. Here's the final 2020 edit. And here's the original. And if you're interested in learning a little bit more in depth on how I retouch this picture, like you want to see step by step, you want to see the whole process, guess what? I now offer exclusive skin retouching and color toning tutorials where I show you guys my entire process on how I edit and retouch my images. It's available now on jessicakobasi.com, so check that out. More information will be in the description. So I really like how this turned out compared to the 2013 edit. There are quite a few changes. You can see a lot more detail in the skin. You can see more texture. So that's the end of the video. Let me know what you guys think. And if you guys say you like the 2013 edit more, I'll still say thank you. That's a compliment. But let's be real, 2020 is way better. Okay, bye guys.